Hello students. In last sessions of alcohol, phenols and ether, we completed our IUPAC nomenclature, common name and tribal name, right? Now we proceed towards to the alcohol and phenols, and in the case of alcohol and phenols, as definitely with ether too, now we focus on the electronic structure of alcoholic and phenolic hydroxyl group, and then the electronic structures of ether. So first, because this is a structure of methanol, it's a stereo structure of methanol, CH3OH. It's a methanol. Another structure is a phenol, and last one is a dimethyl ether or methoxymethane. But in alcohols, this both oxygen and carbon attached to it are with a sp3 hybridized because it's a single bond. So 2 of 4 sp3 hybridized orbitals of oxygen overlap separately with 1s. So here oxygen is a sp3, so 1, 2, 3 and 4 sp3. So out of this 4, 1 is overlapped with a 1s orbital of hydrogen and sp3 orbital of carbon of the alkyl group to form a OH bond and CO bond. Sigma bonds respectively, while the remaining 2 sp3 orbitals contain slightly less, means is near about 108.9 degree than the tetrahedral angle, because we know that in the case of tetrahedral angle is always 109 degree and 28 minutes, right? So is due to this greater lone pair then lone pair bond pair repulsion, that we have to already know that in the case of VSEPR principle, the lone pair repulsion is quite compared to the greater in nature as compared to the lone pair bonded pair. So the carbon oxygen bond length is being 142 picometer or 1.42 angstrom. Now in this case, the OH bond in phenol, like the OH bond in alcohol, is formed by overlap of a sp3 orbitals of oxygen with 1s orbital of a hydrogen, while the CO bond is formed by the overlap of a sp3 orbitals of oxygen with a sp2 orbital of a carbon of benzene. So COH bond in this case phenol is approximately 109 degree as in methanol, but the carbon oxygen bond length in phenol is however slightly less. It's a 136 picometer than in methanol. What is the reason behind it? Because here the CO bond length is 142 while in this case is 136. The reason behind it, due to the resonance, as a result here out of 5 canonical structure, 3 structure having a carbon oxygen bonds acquired some double bond character because of the conjugation of this lone pair of the electrons of oxygen with the benzene ring, and number 2, sp2 hybridized state of carbon to which oxygen is attached. So 2 different reasons, because here in this case is sp2 while the case of this is sp3. So here the percentage of S is 33.33% while in this case is 25%. So more number of S percentage character is increasing, that's why the bond length is decreasing. Okay, since the oxygen atom is more electronegative than both the carbon and hydrogen, so the electrons of the CO bond and OH bonds are little more displaced towards the oxygen atom. So as a result, the electron density near this oxygen atom is slightly higher than that the carbon and hydrogen atom. In other words, this alcohol molecule is a dipolar nature, with oxygen carries a partially negative charge and hydrogen carries a partially positive charge. And all this particularly dipole moment is supported by the fact that the methanol has a dipole moment value is almost 1.7 dBi. So on the other hand, phenol has a small dipole moment. Here the dipole moment of phenol is 1.54 dBi than methanol. This is due to, what is the reason behind it? Why the here 1.71 and 1.54? The same reason. This is due to the reason that this CO bond in phenol is less polar than the CO bond compared to the alcohol, because this is less polar due to the electron withdrawing effect of the benzene ring, while in methanol This CO bond is more polar due to the electron donating effect, because this methyl is an electron donating effect group, while in this case this phenyl ring is an electron withdrawing effect. So that's why the dipole moment of phenol is it's quite low as compared to the alcohol. Now we move to the electronic structure of ether. Like water, H2O, right, have a tetrahedral geometry. Here in the case of ether, is oxygen is sp3 hybridized. So two of the four sp3 orbitals of the oxygen atom overlap with the sp3 orbitals of two alkyl groups. So they form a 2 sigma bonds. The remaining two sp3 orbitals of oxygen, now the remaining two orbitals of oxygen contain a lone pair of electrons, which is shown in this figure. So the COC bond angle in ether is slightly greater than the tetrahedral angle. Why? Because here the angle is 11.7 degree. So what's the reason behind that? This is all due to the repulsive interactions between these two bulky methyl group. So COC bond angle in methoxymethane has been found to be 111.7 degree, while the CO bond length is 141. It's almost the same as in the case of alcohol. So this is all about the electronic structure of alcohol as well as phenol and as well as ether. Now our next and most important point that we have to start, it's a new point, and this point is a preparations of alcohol, or method of a preparation of alcohol. So various methods are generally used for the preparations of monohydric alcohol, because we are at presently we are much focus on a monohydric alcohol. So in the case of monohydric alcohol, so first from alkene, we want to prepare alcohol from alkene. So our first point from alkene. So there are two parts in alkene. So it's a one part is by acid catalyzed hydration. So here in this case, it's a simple in the simple way, when we have to perform a reaction of alkene in presence of water, or with water in presence of H plus as an acidic catalyst. So definitely it's a one type of addition reactions, and we know that it's a electrophilic addition reactions. In case of asymmetric alkene like that, CH3 CH double bond CH2, we know that there is a propene. When then propene is hydrolyzed in presence of acid, we know that it's a asymmetric alkene, and our reagent water is also asymmetric in nature. So at that time we have to use a Markovnikov rule. So regarding to the Markovnikov rule, more electronegative portion of water is OH is attached with those carbon having a lesser number of hydrogen. So we get a product is like that, CH3 CH OH CH3. So it's propane 2-ol. It's a propane 2-ol. So here the term hydrations means what? It's the addition of a molecule of water. And the hydration of alkene can be carried out either indirect, because in the case of alkenes, when we have to idea about the hydrocarbon chapter, at that time the detailed study of these preparations of alkenes from preparations of alcohol from alkene. No, at that time the chemical properties of alkene, at that time we studied two different methods. It's the indirect hydrations and direct hydration. In the case of indirect process, where alkenes are passed through concentrated H2O, so first they form alkyl hydrogen sulfate, and these upon hydrolyze with the boiling water give alcohol. But in our textbook, in NCERT textbook, at presently they do not see this type of the process, because here in this case it's a direct hydrations they given. So we are very much focused on this direct hydrations, right? So reactive, any type of in the case of reactive alkenes, directly you have to add a molecule of water in presence of mineral acid as a catalyst to form a alcohol. So what is the mechanism behind it? So first we have to study about the different mechanism. So mechanism, the alkene in this case, because this alkene, why the preparations of alkene, why the preparations of alcohol from alkene is needed. The alkene needed for the purpose are obtained on a large scale by cracking of petroleum, and that we have to use for the preparations of alkane. Now, what is the mechanism behind that? So first we start a mechanism. So there are 3 steps. Step number 1. What is step number 1? So in step number 1, first your H2SO4. Your H2SO4 is ionized into 2H plus SO4 minus 2, and this H plus is attached with the water, because water having a lone pair, and this lone pair is attached with the H plus, and we get a HOH. It's a hydronium ion. It's a hydronium ion. Okay. So in this step, electrophilic attack by hydronium ion on alkene gives a carbocation intermediate. So after this hydronium ion formation, if I suggest the reaction is like that: CH3 CH double bond CH2, when it reacts with HOH, and this O is plus in nature, right? So your pi is attached with the hydrogen, and this lone pair is attracted towards the oxygen. So it's an electrophilic attack. It's a electrophilic philic attack by what? Secondary carbocation CH3 CH3 or carbocation. Here in this case is a secondary carbocation. So now the additions of hydrogen on carbon 2 would have yielded, for example, if some students who ask the questions like that, if this attack of this hydronium on here, so they gives a primary carbocation, but this primary carbocation is quite less stable as compared to the secondary carbocation. So this is our step number 1. Mind well, in step number 1 there is an electrophilic attack by hydronium ion on an alkene gives a carbocation intermediate. So this is the first step. Now what is the step number 2? In step number 2, now the nucleophilic attack by water on secondary carbocation to yield a protonated alcohol. So in this case, this secondary carbocation, right, is attacked by water, because water having a lone pair, okay, to the secondary carbocation, and we get a product is like that: CH3 CH3O, here H lone pair plus. So it's a protonated alcohol. It's a protonated alcohol. It's a protonated alcohol. So in this protonated alcohol, now the step number 3. So in the case of step 3, now the deprotonation or a loss of proton to form alcohol, because CH3 CH3, we know that oxygen is attached with hydrogen, and hydrogen lone pair, and oxygen is partially positive in nature. Okay, so now another molecule of water, so the lone pair, they donate to this partially positive hydrogen. So at that time this bonded pair is towards to the oxygen. So we get a product is like that, CH3, CH, OH, CH3 plus H3O plus. And this H3O plus is further react with the propene and its reaction is continuous. So this is all about the to form from alkenes to alcohol. So it's the first method. It's it presently I saw the direct hydration process. Then this the first step number one. Step number one is a rate determinating step. This step is rate determinating step. So in this step, there is a attack by electrophilic attack. So it's called as an electrophilic addition reactions. Now another reaction is called as a by hydroboration oxidation reactions. Now number two, it's an interesting hydroboration oxidation reaction. So in this case of hydroboration oxidation reactions, right? So what we have to do and why they given this such a type of reactions, hydroboration oxidation, because it was first reported by the name of scientist is H.C. Brown in 1959. For his studies on boron containing organic compounds, this H.C. Brown shared the 1979 Nobel Prize in Chemistry with G. Wittig. Okay, so this is some external discussion about the hydroboration and oxidation. But what in the case of hydroboration oxidations and what's the mechanism behind it? Because no mechanism is given in your textbook. So what is the phenomena that we have to observe in the case of hydroboration oxidation? So diboron means B2H6. Once again, the name of this compound is diboron. This moiety or this compound is definitely, we know that it's a electron deficient. It's an electron deficient molecule. That's a key of B2H6. Therefore, it acts as because if any species who are electron deficient, so they always behave as a electrophile. They always behave as an electrophile and reacts with alkene. So first it reacts with alkene and to form a trialkyl boron. So once again, if we perform this reaction CH3 CH double bond CH2 with boron, right? It's a one type of scene addition. It's a scene addition. So they are attacked from the same side, either frontal or rear. So in this case, we get a CH3 CH H CH2 BH2, right? Further mole of propene CH3 CH double bond CH2 is also attached with this boron, and we get a CH3 CH2 CH2, right? Twice BH. Once more, because there is still a presence of hydrogen, so one more CH3 CH double bond CH2. So it's converted into what? So it's converted into CH3 CH2 CH2 3 times B. The name of this compound is tri-N-propyl because it's a tri. N-propyl boron. This step is called as an hydroboration. Now the next step is the oxidation step. Once again, we know that this B2H6 is an electron deficient molecule, and this electron deficient molecule always acts as an electrophile. So they definitely electrophile. So this pi cloud is attacked towards to this electrophile. It's a one type of scene addition. So either from upper side to H, same side, the attack of BH2. So we get this type of the compound. Now the further attack, because there is a presence of 2 hydrogen in boron. So it's converted into next. So we get a tri-N-propyl boron. Now the next step. Now the next point for the next step is like that. It's oxidation reactions. It's a oxidation reactions. So what is in the oxidation reactions? So in simple manner, in your book or your textbook suggests that its oxidation state is given like that: CH3, CH2, CH2, thrice B. When it reacts with hydrogen peroxide in presence of basic media, we get a product is like that: CH3, CH2, CH2OH plus H3PO3. This is H3 BO3. It's a boric acid. And what is our end compound? It's propane 1-ol. So in this case, right, the addition of boron to double bond take place in such a manner that the boron atom gets attached to the carbon of the double bond with greater number of the hydrogen atoms. This two-step process is called as an hydroboration oxidation and gives alcohol, which seems to have been formed by anti-Markovnikov addition of water to alkenes. Because we know that propene is asymmetric in nature. If we add a certain type, so in prior we get a propane 2-ol as our major product, but in these reactions we get a propane 1-ol as a major product. In detail, so what is the oxidation state? So oxidation state, okay, for example, if you are interested, then I saw the step, because this is not seen in our textbook. So it's a trimethyl boron, right? CH2, CH2, CH3, same way CH2, CH2, CH3. It's a trimethyl boron. When it reacts with peroxide, so peroxide means O, H, this O having a lone pair, same way lone pair, it's a minus. So they attack towards to this boron, because boron is a electron deficient, because there is a sextet is not 8 electrons there, so they are not satisfied with the octet, right? So now it's converted into CH3, CH2, CH2, B, same way CH2, CH2, CH3, same way CH2, CH2, CH3, O, H. So this compound is unstable. This is unstable intermediate. This is unstable intermediate. So what is the next step? The next step is like that, because this bonded electron pair towards to this oxygen and towards the oxygen. Fine. So we get a product is like that: B, CH2, CH2, CH3. Same way, O having a lone pair, CH2, CH2, CH3. Same way, CH2, CH2, CH3 plus OH minus. 2 times repetition of these reactions form. Same way, 2 times. Okay, so 2 times repetition of this reaction forms what? They form like it: O, CH2, CH2, CH3. Same way, O, CH2, CH2, CH3, O, CH2, CH2, CH3. Clear? This O having a lone pair, same way lone pair and lone pair. This is tripropyl borate. This is tripropyl borate. Now, next step. Next step is given like that. Now the OH minus, B, O, CH2, CH2, CH3, O, CH2, CH2, CH3, O, CH2, CH2, CH3. So it's a lone pair, same way lone pair. Okay. So OH minus is attached to this carbon. Same way here OH minus. Okay. So at that time this bonded towards to the oxygen, and here same OH minus it. Okay. So at that time this bonded pair towards to the oxygen. So we get a product is like that, BO minus, same way O minus O minus. So it's a H3BO3 or boric acid, and CH3 CH2 CH2 OH. So we get a propane 1-ol, propane 1-ol. So it's a detailed mechanism which cannot be given in your NCERT textbook. I think so. Two-step reactions. First is the hydroboration. When it's a scene addition, it's a one type. When they use the anti-Markovnikov rule, and then after the oxidations, to give a certain type of the anti-Markovnikov product. Just one more example of this in one entrance examinations. The question asked like that. I think so. It's a past AIEEE or JEE type of paper. It's when we have to perform the reactions BH3 in presence of tetrahydrofuran. And step number 2 is the oxidation in presence of OH minus. So it's a simple method, because there is a double bond. We have to add a OH at where? Because it's an anti-Markovnikov rule. So anti-Markovnikov rule means we have to add OH at here, because more electronegative portion is added here, because it's an anti-Markovnikov rule. So we get a product is like that. Okay. CH3 H H. Right. So it's a, so this type of the question. So I think so for the candidates who pursue for the JEE advanced, there is one more process in this point is oxymercuration and demercuration, but it's not given in our in NCERT syllabus. So now we proceed towards to the another method, and this method is from carbonyl compounds. So that we have to study in our next session. Thank you very much.